Let's talk about the starter deck characters and their kits. First off, we have Ochaco Uraraka 4, 6 hand size, 28 health. Flip 1 foundation, your high attack gets +3 speed or +3 damage. After your charge attack or high attack deals damage, ready 1 face down foundation. After you play your second attack or greater this turn, unflip 1 foundation. So she's having to flip her stage for this +3 or +3, but she also gets to unflip something. So she basically gets it to do it once for free each turn, or she can also just get to unflip her very best foundation. So like on the water symbol, you get to unflip sticky balls and then just flip it again, and now everything gets another +1 speed effectively. And readying a face down foundation is going to feel really, really nice. There's no once per turn on that. So, if you had 3 attacks in a row that dealt damage, you got to ready 3 foundations with this character. +3/+3 is super solid. And you get to choose which is the best depending on the situation. This character is very, very easily A tier to me. Her downside basically is that she's only going to be playing high attacks. So if I'm if I'm playing against Ochaco 4, it's just like I'm going to hold my high blocks. I know exactly what zone you're going for, but it's not going to matter that you know the zone because she's giving everything +3 speed if she likes. So that's very, very solid. All right, close quarters subdual, 2 low 4. Your rival commits 1 foundation for each charge attack in your card pool. So this is like heroic strike, but for charge. Heroic strike's that 4 high 4 that says your rival commits 1 for each punch. However, heroic strike was 4 high 4. That's good stats for a 4 def. This is a 2 low 4. This is bad stats for a 4 def. So solid effect, bad stats. I put it in the B tier. I'm kind of surprised. I think I should have put this like B- or C+. B is a little high, but yeah, that's nice, but just understated. 4 def, 5 high 4, pretty much blank. It's got powerful 3. It's a 0 low block. Good stats for a 4 def. Powerful 3 and a good low block is solid, but it's pretty much blank other than that. So you're probably not going to be playing this card, but it's good for a starter deck. It's certainly not bad. It's just not doing anything interesting. Harpoon Vault, 3 difficulty attack, 3 mid 2. If you have more face down foundations than your rival, unflip 1 foundation. Of course, you're Ochaco, so you're almost always going to have more face down foundations. So you guys know I hate attacks or like enhances that say if. But this is a pretty easy one to satisfy. I'm going to put this in the B+ tier. Getting to unflip your very best thing is going to feel nice. It's on a 3 difficulty attack. It's not the best stats. It is a mid. B+ is maybe being generous. Maybe it should just be B, but I could see it finding play. Neck Chop, 4 def, 1 mid, 5, 2 mid block. Gets +1 speed for each face down foundation in your stage. So when I think an attack becomes super, just playable for stats only is when it has 3 stats per difficulty. So once this gets to 12, so if this gets to 7 speed, 5 damage, then that's really, really good. So you would need 6 face down foundations in your stage. That's asking a lot. But if you have 4, then it's 5 mid 5, and then that's pretty solid. I'm going to put it in the B+ because you could see how this could really scale. This shares 2 symbols with Asui. I wish this could have been a kick or a ranged. Would have just been awesome for Asui 1. Then we get Swift Redirect, 4 mid, 4 diff. If there's another charge attack in your card pool, change this attack zone to high and it gets +2 damage. So then that's solid stats. It's a 1 mid block, so it's a solid block. EX3 is not nothing. B tier, it's not doing anything particularly interesting, but it's certainly not bad. Gravity Stunner, 4 low 6 on a 5 diff, stun 1. Change this attack zone to high. Okay, C+ tier. Not really in love with this card. It's a lot easier to give these attacks that aren't doing anything interesting but have solid stats, like good grades if they're a 4 diff, but when they're a 5 diff, I'm really expecting more from my 5 difficulty attacks than my 4 difficulty attacks. All right, 5 difficulty, 0 gravity, 5 mid 6. Your next charge attack gets +3 damage. So stats alone, this card is very, very good. Basically, this is 9 damage, 5 speed. That's 14 stats for a 5 diff. You're almost at that 3 stats per difficulty range. Enhance, discard 1 momentum, ready to face down foundations. So sometimes this is going to be a 3 difficulty attack, basically. That feels awesome. Um, it shares the water symbol with like dual needle lunge. So you could just play dual needle lunge, put it into your momentum, discard the momentum, ready to. That would feel pretty nice. I think this card is A minus. It's not particularly interesting. It's not doing anything crazy. It's just solid. And if you can reliably get momentum, like on the air symbol, you get electric jolt, 0 gravity lift, cards like this, you can pretty much always get momentum. Readying 2, 3 difficulty, 5 mid 9. Yeah, I like this card. Not much more to say about it. 6 difficulty, 0 high 4, 3 mid block. Okay, so you know these enhances are going to be good. Change this attack speed to match its damage. If you have 3 or more face down foundations, draw 2 cards. So it's an attack that draws 2. That already feels awesome. Change this attack speed to match its damage. So like on Earth symbol, Nomu immediately comes to mind. 10 damage, now we're adding it 10 speed. So basically in Nomu, this wasn't a 0 high 4, this was a 10 high 4. And then we got to add the 6 damage. 10 high 4, that's 14 stats on the 6 diff, that's pretty good. And you get to draw 2 cards. So that feels nice. It's still a 3 mid block, which kind of holds it back. I think this is a fun card. I don't think it's actually going to end up seeing a lot of play. It feels like it's actually just going to hurt consistency of decks more than it actually helps. But change this attack speed to match its damage. That's going to be fun, just to try and get the damage as high as you possibly can and then make it super fast as well. 3 diff, concern for a friend. 3 mid block. If you have 3 or more face down foundations, you can commit to draw a card. Typically we see commit to draw a card on a 2 diff. It doesn't feel great on a 3 diff. But we also get this second enhanced tenacious. Discard 1 momentum, your charge attack gets +3 damage. That's nice. B minus, I think I probably should have put this in the C tier. I really don't see it finding play. 1 diff, flustered, flip. If there is a charge attack in your card pool, which there's pretty much always going to be if you're a Ochaco, discard 1 rival momentum or draw 1 card. So basically it's flip to draw. That feels very, very solid on a 1 diff, 2 mid block. It is a 4 check though, and that is the main thing that's holding it back. But it's a 4 check because if it just said flip, if there's a charge attack in your card pool, draw 1 card, it would check a 5. It's a 4 check because we also have this, or you can discard a rival momentum. Sometimes that can be huge. Like imagine if you're playing Mirio and you get to discard his momentum right at the very outset. That would feel awesome. So I'm going to put this in the A minus tier because having a 1 diff that can flip for either drawing or discarding rival momentum, as long as you're playing charge attacks, that's not going to be a hard if statement to fulfill. So A minus might be generous for me, but I see it finding a lot of play. Quick response. 2 diff, 3 low block, destroy 1 foundation, this high attack is +2 speed. That's awesome. Deadlock enhance, change the zone of your attack, it gets +1 speed. Okay, so I really like the top enhance. Just right away. Destroy for +2 speed is incredible. So if your opponent has a release on board, you basically get to neutralize the release. You say, okay, you'll destroy for +2 to your check, I'll destroy for +2 to speed, and we just match each other. And then I also have this deadlock enhance that's just insane. Change the zone of your attack on every single attack. Everything's getting +1 speed. So you have a game-winning deadlock enhance, and you have a very, very solid top enhance. That for me makes this an easy A tier. I see this being a staple. Quick expertise. 2 difficulty, checks to 6. Commit, change this attack speed zone to high. You can use that on defense or on offense. It gets +2 damage. So you'd use it on, you don't care if you're giving it damage if you intend to block it and you have a high block in hand. Like for example, let's say you have a, are we on like showdown symbols here? I don't think so. That would have been fun. But there's a lot of high blocks in this game that when you block with them, you get some really good effect. You have that like saving airy, keeping airy, saving airy. I can't remember the new action coming out, the ultra rare action. I can't remember if it shares symbols here, but that's another high block that has a really powerful effect if you get to block with it. But it's on a 2 difficulty. It's probably not going to be finding play pretty consistently in lists, but it's not nothing. Reaching out. Commit. Your high attack is +1 speed and +1 damage. Your next charge attack is -1 difficulty. We already have this on the water symbol with ranged. We have that, I can't remember the name of it. It was a DLC foundation. It said commit. Your ranged attack gets +1/+1. Your next range gets -1 difficulty. But that foundation had an incredible deadlock enhance. You know, a lot of times you were just playing that because it didn't feel bad to play, but you were playing it because of the deadlock, because it was game-winning deadlock. We don't have any of that here. B- tier. Resourceful, 1 diff, 2 low block. Commit. This attack gets -2 speed. If it's a weapon attack, it also gets -1 damage. Look, 1 diff, 2 low block that commits for -2 speed. That's good. B tier. 3 diff, snap out of it. 2 mid block. Student first enhance. Commit, unflip 1 foundation. Okay, so you have to commit it. It's only on your turn, but you get to unflip your best thing. It is a 3 diff. It's going to be really fighting for a spot. I'm going to put it in the B+ tier. I could see how this could get crazy, but it's definitely, you know, it's a 3 diff that commits itself. That feels bad. All right, and then we get warm and bubbly, 0 diff. If you've taken damage, flip for -2 damage. That's fine. Weightless, flip, ready 1 foundation on a 1 diff. That's fine. There's really not much to say about these cards. They're just fine. Then let's get to Toga 3. 6 hand size, 28 health. After you play a weapon attack, your rival commits 1 foundation. Okay, so stun 1 for every weapon. If this is the first attack you've played, it gets +3/+2. Okay. After your attack deals damage, you may add 1 card from your discard pile to your momentum. Right away, the 1 check comes to mind. The stun 3, like in your momentum, you get to draw 2 or something. I can't quite remember the 1 check, but you can take it from your discard pile and put it in your momentum. That feels awesome. You don't have to play 4 of that 1 check. You could just play 1 or 2 so you could consistently get it to your momentum. There's also a lot of other things like Piercing Needle that you could use. Yeah, there's quite a bit of things you could do here. This character just reminds me of Shoto Todoroki 2. Todoroki 2 gets +2/+2 once per turn. We get +3/+2 once per turn. Todoroki 2 gets plus stun 2 once per turn. We're getting to commit stun 1 basically after every weapon attack. Todoroki gets to add momentum to his hand. We get to add from our discard pile to our momentum. So feels very, very similar to Todoroki 2. I'm not a big fan of Todoroki 2. I'm going to say B-. I don't think Toga 3 is bad, but not nearly as good as Ochaco, in my opinion. 4 diff, ambush thrust. 4 mid 4, add a card from your momentum to your hand. That's awesome. Destroy 1 foundation. If your rival has 4 or more committed foundations, this attack is +3 damage. It does have a 3 mid block, so it's an attack with a bad block modifier. That feels bad. But, you know, being able to loop things like dual needle lunge, put it in your momentum, use this, grab that dual needle lunge right back. Yeah, you get to, or you know, you put your very best attack, you put the 1 check in there, and then you say, yep, I'm going to use the 1 check to draw, and now I'm going to take the 1 check into my hand. Like, that feels really, really awesome. It is a 4 mid 4, 3 mid block, though. So I don't think it's quite A tier, but B+ for sure. 6 difficulty, deadly ambush. 6 low 5. Destroy 1 committed rival foundation. If this attack deals damage, gain 2 health and your rival loses 2 health. It's understated for a 6 diff. The top enhance is nice. I don't think it needed to say committed. I learned from that overhaul 1 diff foundation that says flip 1 rival committed foundation. It just felt like my rival never had the foundation that I wanted to flip committed. And it was a 4 check. It just felt really bad to play. Here we have a 6 difficulty attack, and you know you're going to want to play your 6 difficulty attack first. Most of the time your rival's not going to, the foundation you want to destroy isn't going to be committed if this is your first attack. I don't really see this. I put this in the C tier, like maybe C. I'm putting the plus because I'm being generous. I actually think this is quite bad. Okay, gouging needle, 4 diff, 5 low 4, powerful 3, 0 high block. B-. You know, it's solid, but it's not doing anything. 5 diff, 4 high 5, discard 1 card. This attack gets +2 speed. If it deals damage, draw 1 card, stun 1. So you're discarding a card, which is a huge cost. Not a huge cost, but it's a real cost for 2 speed, which is not great. If it deals damage, draw 1 card. Yeah, this is C tier to me. Multi-needle puncture, 4 diff, 3 mid 5. If a copy of this is in your discard pile, it gets +2 damage. So then it's a 3 mid 7 on a 4 diff with EX3. That's all right, but it's also C tier. All right, 3 difficulty, series of stabs, 2 mid 2, plus 2 damage for each series of stabs in your card pool. So it's at least starts at a 2 mid 5, a 2 mid 4. Could be a 2 mid 6 if you played 2 of these. You're probably never playing 3 of these, but if you did, it'd be like 2 mid 8. 1 low block. This is again C tier. It needs to be doing something. Like Ochaco's 3 diff foundation or 3 difficulty attack was doing something. It was unflipping something. That feels a lot better than just getting like a little better stats if you're playing a lot of these. 5 difficulty attack, 5 mid 5. If this is blocked, your next check to play a weapon gets +1. Again, it's an if statement, and then it's a +1. That's something, but it's not really worth that much. Enhance, if this is the first attack you've played this turn, draw 1 card. So that's pretty nice if it's the first attack you've played this turn. If it's not the first attack you played this turn, this is pretty terrible. I'm going to put it in the C tier. Twirling Needle, 3 high 4. This attack is always considered the first attack you've played this turn. That's super good in Toga 3. That doesn't really mean anything to anybody else, right? Enhance, if this attack deals damage, your next attack is +2 speed. Okay, so if you're not Toga 3, this is terrible. If you're Toga, so it's C tier, right? If you're Toga 3, this is incredible. It's always a 6 high 6 on a 4 diff that you can play. So this is A tier if you're Toga 3. It's not going to be played outside of her. Abandoning all inhibitions. Commit, if this is the first attack you've played this turn, it does not count towards progressive difficulty. So commit to make something not count. That feels solid. It is villain only. It is on a 3 difficulty foundation. Both of those are going to hold this card back. I'm going to put it in the B tier. And Blood Bank, it's a 1 diff foundation that checks a 4. If your rival's lost health, your next weapon attack gets -2 difficulty. So it's helping your progressive by 1 because you're committing for it, right? So really it's just saying your next check gets +1. But it's a 4 check. So playing it also hurts your checks by 1. And it's a 3 high block. B-. I think I should put this in the C tier. Change this. This is a C. All right, Blood Sample. Flip, discard 1 momentum, add 1 weapon card from your card pool to your hand. Okay, only on our rival's turn. If this was playable on our turn, that would be awesome. Only on our rival's turn, though. And on Death and Chaos, we just get Struggling with Studies. It's a 1 difficulty foundation that says flip, add anything you want to your hand from your card pool. This is C tier. Dangerous Combatant. Enhance, flip, if your rival has more committed foundations than ready, draw 1 card. So it's a 1 difficulty foundation that says draw. It's not all, you don't get to draw when you want to. It's only when your rival has that more committed than ready. But that should happen often enough to where it's pretty consistent. I'm going to put it in the B tier. It's not quite A. Deft Maneuvers. Destroy 1 foundation, your weapon attack is +1/+1. Deadlock, your weapon attacks get +1/+1. This is very similar to that A tier foundation for Ochaco that said destroy gets +2 speed. And then it said here we're getting +1/+1 instead of just +2 speed. Basically the same, but the Ochaco one was on high attacks. This one's on weapon attacks. Then we get this deadlock. It gets another +1/+1. The deadlock for the Ochaco one was crazy. That changed the zone and +1 speed. This and weapon attacks aren't as good. This deadlock is weapon only. The deadlock on Ochaco is just all attacks. I don't think it's as good as the Ochaco foundation. Still very, very solid. Strange Friendship, 2 difficulty, checks a 6. Commit, your attack gets +1 damage for each weapon attack in your card pool. So if you string out like crazy, this could be like commit for +5 damage. That would be awesome. But it is a 2 difficulty foundation. I'm going to put it as a B-. 0 difficulty transformation materials. Flip, if your rival's lost health this turn, your weapon attack is +2 damage. That's nice for a 0 diff. It's a B. Twisted Love, 1 diff, 2 low block. Okay, there's reason to play it right there. Commit, charge attack is -3 speed. If you're playing someone with a charge lineup, this is going to feel incredible. If not, it's just a 1 diff, 2 low block. So that is a B tier card. Weapon of Choice. Commit, if your rival's lost health, draw a card. Discard a momentum, gets +3 damage. This is very similar to that 3 difficulty foundation for Ochaco. I think it's C+. This is a harder if statement to reach. Ochaco's was just if you have 3 face down foundations, draw a card. This is if your rival's lost health this turn. That's much, much harder to do. than Ochaco's if statement, so this is a little bit worse. I'm going to put it at C+. That's going to do it for the starter deck characters. What do you think of these decks? Which attacks are you most excited to play outside of these characters? And who do you think is better, Ochaco or Toga? For me, I think, if you notice, Toga's kit, I don't think I gave a single A. Yeah, and almost all of her attacks were in the C tier. I gave 2 B pluses. I didn't give a single A to Toga's kit, and I put her in the B tier. With Ochaco, I gave 2 A's, and I put Ochaco in the A tier, and I don't think I gave a single C in her entire kit. Okay, I gave 1. 1 got a C+. So for me, I don't think it's particularly close. I think Ochaco's the better character. I think Ochaco got a better kit. That kind of is sad to me because Toga is weapons, and weapons have been under what do you say? Not as powerful as the other keywords. You know, if you're charged, fury, ranged, punch, then you get a ton of support. If you're slam, weapon, kick, then you don't get nearly as much support as the other keywords. And that just seems to kind of be the way it is. Like, we're getting weapon support with Toga 3, but it's just not solid. I would have really, really liked Toga's 3's kit to be much, much better. What I do like about these starter deck characters is they're both only offense on face. That's easy for beginners. They don't have to think about their character on defense. Almost all of the cards only have 1 enhance on them. They only have 1 ability. So there's not a lot to keep up with new players. There's only like 4 cards in each kit, I think, that have more than 1 ability. And then even then, it's cards like, where's that? It's cards like this. It's got 2 abilities, but they're both very, very simple. I think these are perfect starter deck cards. Feels really, really easy to learn the game. Ochaco's kit feels strong and easy, and Toga's kit feels kind of mid to me. So for me, I like Ochaco much, much more, but what do you think? I would love to hear about it. Go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know.